I don't know if you've seen this, but he posted in July. So now fake movie actor George Clooney.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that movies are fake, does he?
I don't think so.
Clooney should get out of politics and go back to television. Movies never really worked for him.
I will if he does.
Who never
Hannibal
came
Lecter
close
is his guy.
to making a great movie is getting into the act. He's turned on Crooked Joe like the rats they both are. What does Clooney know about anything?
Trump just called George Clooney a fake movie actor. Apparently the guy who starred in The Apprentice thinks he's the arbiter of real acting. But wait, it gets better. Clooney's response: it's like watching a master chef serve a gourmet roast. You won't believe how he flipped Trump's insults into a nationwide debate on age in politics. This has always blown my mind a little bit. 91% that watch this show regularly haven't subscribed. Could I ask you for a small favor before we start? If you like this show, what we do here, and want to support us, the free simple way you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. Alright folks, it's time to dive into the latest episode of the Donald's Twitter Tantrum. Our favorite orange-tinted reality TV star turned politician is at it again, and this time he's got his tiny fingers in a twist over none other than George Clooney. Now, we all know Trump's got a love-hate relationship with Hollywood. He loves the glitz and glamour, but boy oh boy, does he hate it when those pesky celebs dare to criticize him. It's like he's allergic to constructive feedback or something. Maybe we should get him some anti-criticism cream.
Have you thought about if Donald Trump wins? Have you thought about the possibility he might use the power of the federal government against you personally?
You don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the one kid. You're that one kid, pal.
I'm the kid.
Yeah, I have, but I'm comforted in the fact that he's coming after you first.
That makes you feel better?
Yeah.
So what set off our grumpy Trumpy this time? Well, it seems George Clooney had the audacity to speak his mind and Trump just couldn't handle it. In true Trump fashion, he fired off a tweet faster than you can say "cuff F," calling Clooney a fake movie actor. Talk about the pot calling the kettle orange. Let's take a moment to appreciate the irony here. Trump, the star of such cinematic masterpieces as The Apprentice and that blink and you'll miss it cameo in Home Alone 2, is criticizing George Clooney's acting chops. I mean, come on, that's like a toddler critiquing Picasso's brush technique. But let's be real, this isn't the first time Trump's gone after a celebrity. It's like his favorite hobby, right after golf and eating Big Macs. Remember when he called Meryl Streep overrated? Or when he said Rosie O'Donnell had a fat, ugly face? Classy as always, Donnie Diapers. Trump's got a whole arsenal of insults he likes to use when he's feeling threatened.
I try to get behind things that I think I could have. At least I can help bring attention to it. I can't change things. You know, we're not a government, my wife and I. We try to get involved in things that we think we can, and we fail. I fail most often. You failed a lot in Darfur, failed a lot, quite honestly, but it's worth the journey. And I'm worried about the coarsening of America. I'm worried about how we celebrate unkindness.
There's the classic low IQ jab, the ever popular loser label, and who could forget his favorites, fake news. It's like he's got a wheel of insults he spins every time someone hurts his feelings. But what exactly did Clooney say that got Trump's toupee in a tangle? Well, our Hollywood heartthrob didn't pull any punches. He called Trump out for his divisive rhetoric, his handling of the pandemic, and even questioned his mental fitness for office. Ouch! No wonder Trump was seeing red, or should I say, orange. Here's the kicker, though. Trump's tweet actually backfired big time. Instead of shutting Clooney up, it just gave his words more weight. It's like Trump forgot about the Streisand effect. The more you try to suppress something, the more attention it gets. Way to go, Trumpster. You just turned Clooney's critique into front page news. But hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because this story isn't over yet. Clooney wasn't about to let Trump have the last word. Oh no, our silver fox had a few more tricks up his sleeve. Well, folks, it looks like our favorite silver fox from Tinseltown decided to give Trump a taste of his own medicine. And boy, did Clooney serve it up with a side of sass. When the Donald tried to take a swing at George, calling him a fake movie actor, our Hollywood heartthrob didn't just roll over and play dead. Oh no, he came back swinging with a zinger that left Trump looking like he'd just bitten into a lemon. So what was Clooney's secret weapon? 4 little words that packed quite the punch. I will if he does. boom. Just like that, Clooney turned Trump's attack back on him faster than you can say cuffeef. It was like watching a master chess player outsmart a checkers champion. Trump thought he was playing Connect 4, but Clooney was out here playing 4D chess. Now let's be real for a second. Clooney's been dipping his toes in the political pool for a while now. He's not just a pretty face, folks. This guy's got some serious thoughts about how the country should be run, and he's not afraid to share them, even if it means ruffling a few orange feathers.
Broadway debut, which I found kind of crazy that you never.
It's pretty stupid.
You've never been on Broadway.
No, I've never. I did one play. I've done a lot of plays in L.A.,
Right.
but I did one play at Steppenwolf about 30 years ago. It's been a long time.
Have you thought about writing an op-ed in the Times asking him to step down? Because it worked once. Why not try it again?
Yeah, he's a big fan of mine. And I'm a wreck. I'm a nervous
Are
wreck.
you?
Sure. I mean, it's a very intimidating world.
Did you feel like this is something you need to check off? You know,
Did you say check off?
career-wise?
You know, as time went on, it felt like maybe I should do it. And I have to say, I'm terrified and it's exciting. You know, we're going to live in New York for a while and try to not destroy Broadway alone.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Clooney didn't just stop at that snappy comeback. He went full throttle and penned an op-ed in the New York Times that had everyone talking. And get this, he actually suggested that President Biden should step aside. Talk about dropping a bombshell. Clooney wrote, "The one battle he cannot win is the fight against time. None of us can." Ouch, that's gotta sting a bit for old Joe. This little nugget of wisdom from Clooney set off a firestorm in the Democratic Party. Suddenly everyone and their grandma was debating whether Biden was too old to be running the show. It was like Clooney opened Pandora's box and outflew a bunch of uncomfortable questions about age and leadership. But here's the kicker. Clooney's response to Trump didn't just make waves, it caused a full-on tsunami on social media. Before you could say cuffef, yeah, I'm using that again because it's just too good, the internet exploded with memes and jokes. People were having a field day. There were pictures of Trump as a big baby throwing a tantrum, and let me tell you, some of those Photoshop jobs were disturbingly realistic. It's like Clooney didn't just win the battle, he won the whole darn meme war. And in today's world, that's practically like winning the presidency, right? Okay, maybe not, but it sure feels good to see Trump get a taste of his own Twitter medicine. But here's where things get really interesting. Clooney's little quip didn't just make people laugh, it got them thinking. Suddenly, everyone was talking about age in politics. It was like Clooney had accidentally stumbled onto the philosophical question of our time. How old is too old to run a country? And let me tell you, that's a can of worms that's gonna take a while to close. Now, some folks might say, hey, what's a movie star doing meddling in politics anyway? But let's face it, when Hollywood and Washington collide, it's always gonna be a spectacle. And Clooney? Well, he's proving that sometimes it takes a bit of Hollywood magic to shake things up in DC. What's really impressive is how Clooney manages to keep one foot in La La Land and the other in the political arena. He's like a political commentator in a tuxedo, dropping truth bombs while looking like he just stepped off a red carpet. And unlike some people, cough, Trump cough, Clooney knows how to use humor to make a point without turning the whole thing into a mudslinging contest. Well, folks, it looks like Jimmy Kimmel decided to turn his late night show into a political powder keg. And boy, did he light the fuse with style. You see, Kimmel's been poking the Trump bear for years now, using his comedic chops to call out the former president's antics. But this time, he had a secret weapon up his sleeve, George Clooney, the silver fox with a razor-sharp wit. Now, Kimmel's no stranger to mixing laughs with political jabs. He's been serving up Trump roasts hotter than a freshly nuked burrito for years, but inviting Clooney on his show, that was like adding ghost peppers to an already spicy dish. Kimmel knew exactly what he was doing. He was setting the stage for a Trump takedown of epic proportions. As soon as Clooney stepped onto that stage, you could practically smell the anticipation in the air. Kimmel, being the master of ceremonies that he is, didn't waste any time. He dove right into the deep end, bringing up Trump's latest insults faster than you can say, cuffef.
You know, our news anchors have really taken a...
Could be. I don't know who'd play Sean Hannity. Maybe you should do it.
Yeah, how long will you be on Broadway?
9 years, they tell me.
Yeah, is that right?
It's longer than I thought the run. No,
Yeah, you know
we
what?
just saw your acting
That
just
might
now.
be nice. Yes, thank you for including me in that.
Oh, you were very... Did you guys like his acting in that? It was great.
But here's the thing, Kimmel wasn't just throwing punches for the sake of it, he was carefully laying the groundwork, setting up Clooney for some knockout blows. And boy did Clooney deliver. It was like watching a political ballet with Kimmel and Clooney dancing around serious topics with the grace of two elephants in a china shop. But in a good way, you know? They tackled everything from age and politics to Trump's Twitter tirades, all while keeping the audience in stitches. It was a masterclass in how to make people laugh and think at the same time. But let's talk about the real magic here, the power of late night TV. See, shows like Kimmel's aren't just about getting a few chuckles before bed. They're shaping how we think about politics, especially for the younger crowd. It's like sneaking vegetables into a kid's dessert. They're getting something good for them, but it's so tasty they don't even realize it. Kimmel and Clooney together? That's like the Avengers of political commentary. You've got Kimmel, the everyday guy who can make even the most complicated political mess sound simple. And then there's Clooney, bringing that Hollywood charm and surprisingly sharp political insight. It's a 1-2 punch that leaves you wondering, did I just learn something while I was laughing my butt off? And here's the kicker, this wasn't just about landing a few good jokes. Nope, this dynamic duo sparked a whole conversation. Suddenly, everyone and their grandma was talking about age and politics, celebrity influence, and whether Trump could take a joke. Spoiler alert, he can't. It was like they tossed a political firecracker into the internet, and boy did it explode. Social media went nuts. Memes were flying faster than Trump's toupee in a windstorm. People who normally couldn't care less about politics were suddenly experts on presidential age limits and the finer points of political roasting. It was beautiful chaos, and Kimmel was right in the middle of it all, grinning like the cat that got the cream. But the real cherry on top, Kimmel's final zinger. He wrapped up the segment with a joke so perfect, so on point that you could almost hear the collective "ooh" from living rooms across America. It was the kind of punchline that makes you laugh, then think, then laugh again because you're still thinking about it. Just when you thought the laughter from Kimmel's show was dying down, the internet decided to keep the party going. Suddenly, your grandma's sharing photoshopped pics of Trump as a big orange baby, and your quiet coworkers crafting Biden-Trump retirement home memes. It's like the whole internet got bitten by a radioactive political comedian. The Clooney-Trump spat didn't just end with a mic drop on late-night TV. Nope, it sparked a full-blown meme revolution. Faster than you can say fake news, social media exploded with memes. We're talking Trump as a giant orange baby, complete with diaper and tiny hands. And let's not forget the instant classic Biden and Trump in a retirement home fighting over the TV remote like two grumpy old men. Who needs boring political speeches when you can sum up the whole debate in one hilarious image? But here's the kicker, these memes aren't just for laughs. They're like little political grenades, breaking down complex issues into bite-sized jokes that even your politically clueless cousin can understand. It's like someone took a fancy political science textbook and turned it into a comic book. Suddenly, everyone with a Wi-Fi connection became a political commentator. Who needs a degree in political science when you've got Photoshop and a wicked sense of humor? The rise of these political memes is changing the game faster than Trump can tweet sad. Traditional political discourse, that's so 2015. Now, it's all about who can create the most shareable, laughable, yet oddly insightful meme. It's like the internet collectively decided that if we're gonna talk politics, we might as well have a good chuckle while we're at it. And let's talk about the birth of Grumpy Trumpy. One creative genius with too much time on their hands decided to Photoshop Trump's face onto the body of a toddler throwing a tantrum. Boom, a star was born. Faster than you can say viral, Grumpy Trumpy was everywhere. It was like watching a political Frankenstein's monster come to life, except instead of scaring villagers, it was making them laugh their socks off. But here's where it gets interesting. These memes aren't just silly pictures. They're actually doing something pretty cool. They're breaking down big, complicated political issues into jokes that anyone can get. It's like taking a huge, boring political debate and turning it into a bunch of one-liners. Suddenly, everyone from your tech-savvy niece to your sports-obsessed brother is engaged in political discourse. Who knew that the key to getting people interested in politics was just adding a few funny captions? And guess who's loving this meme fest? Young voters. Yeah, the same ones who'd rather watch paint dry than sit through a traditional political speech. These kids are eating up political memes like they're the latest TikTok dance craze. It's genius, really. Take a complex issue like economic policy, slap it on a picture of a confused-looking cat, and bam! You've got the attention of millions of young voters who might otherwise be scrolling past anything remotely political. But how do these memes spread so fast? It's like watching a virtual game of tag. One person shares a meme, their friends see it and share it with their friends, and before you know it, your aunt in Idaho is laughing at the same Trump meme as a college student in New York. It's a digital wildfire, and in this case, the fuel is laughter and maybe a little political frustration. The real mind bender is how these memes are actually getting people engaged in politics. It's not just about the laughs anymore. People are starting to have real conversations about age in politics, leadership qualities, and the power of celebrity influence. All because of a few funny pictures. It's like the internet found a way to trick people into caring about politics. Sneaky, but effective. Well folks, it looks like the Clooney-Trump showdown wasn't just about two big egos duking it out. Nope. It's turned into a full-blown meme-a-palooza that's got everyone talking politics in a whole new way. Who knew that a Hollywood heartthrob and a late-night funny man could make age and politics more interesting than a Florida retiree's bingo night? But here's the kicker. These celeb jabs aren't just for laughs. They're like political Trojan horses, sneaking serious conversations into our brains while we're busy chuckling. It's like hiding veggies in a kid's mac and cheese. Suddenly, we're all eating our political greens and asking for seconds. So what's next on the menu? Get ready for the meme primary, folks. It's where candidates duke it out with gifts instead of debates. May the best joke win, and may the loser get turned into a dancing baby gif faster than you can say cuff F.